Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. You know what? Let's start with Liz for a minute. I don't understand why she comes to his place and starts getting an attitude and demanding answers and this, that, and the third. And it's like, what is with the attitude? You know, Liz, the idiot, decided to say she was going to call the cops to Esme. That comes across as a sociopath. So she gets knocked on her ass. And she's telling Nicholas, yeah, I saw you at the docks. I don't understand. How could you just leave me? And I'm like, because you was fine. Like, you're saw eye contact and everything. You were fine. Why are you whining about that for? Like, you should be lucky that he was actually there when he did get there. The fact that you just got a little bump on your head, you need to sit there and just take that down several notches. She wants to answer. She was like, it gets to a point they start talking about Esme, and she's like, well, where's Esme? I don't even know where Esme is. Otherwise, I'm going to sit there and call the cops. I'm like, Liz, again, what the hell is wrong with you? I don't understand where this level of anger and attitude is coming from. Okay, boo, he left you there. He's not responsible for you. I get that y'all go way back and everything like that, but he did check on you to make sure that you were good. Like, and he said he went to go after Esme. You should have just dropped it right then and there. Now she's talking about, I'm going to sit there and call the cops. That's the second time that this idiot said, I'm going to call the cops on you. I'm just going to sit there and do that. Just a little pro tip. Don't tell somebody that you're going to call the cops. Find a discreet way to do it, because clearly this idiot didn't learn anything last time. She said, I'm going to call the cops. So you get to a point where, eventually he does sit there and say, I got Esme and everything like that. And she's like, show me where she's at for some odd reason, because now she needs to know where Esme's at. And so he takes her up to Esme's room, and Esme, of course, plays the victim. Oh, he got me captured, and this, that, and the third, and I'm pregnant, and, you gotta help me. And, there's one point where Nick is like, yo, is she actually believing what she's saying? So they get down there. They get down there and they start talking. Now, at this point, Liz is like, does Spencer know that, she's pregnant and everything? And Nicholas is like, no, it's not Spencer's child, it's mine. And she starts getting all judgmental and everything, like, how could you do this, that, and the third? I love when she's got on her high horse, start judging him. And all the crap that she's done back in the day, she has the audacity to sit there and judge him. That is just, it's so stupid. The words that are coming out of her mouth, it's almost kind of beautiful. Especially for the people who've been watching the show for a while, who've been rocking with the show for a while. Like at the point where Drew thought he was Jason, and you knew the whole time, um, about his identity, and yet you said nothing. You just lied to this man for God knows how long. And I think at one point they were going to get married. But yet you have the audacity to sit there and start judging Nicholas. Wow. So that's going on. Now you got Dex that's burning up. Josh is like, she's going to go and get some, antibiotics or whatever. She leaves. She runs into Carly. And she did something that you wouldn't expect her to do. Okay? We've watched this stuff so many times. And you would expect her to sit there and be like, hey, yada, 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 okay, and not tell Carly. But she felt like she was out of her depth. The man's life is hanging in the balance. So she straight up tells Carly, hey, listen, come look for yourself. And I give them points for that, because we saw that way too many times. It was like, these people want to handle things on their own. So they don't even sit there and tell, like, another main character, but she did that. Now, Carly she's not happy about the situation. And I'm sitting there watching this whole thing, and I'm like, Carly, you know damn well you better not say anything. Okay? Because how many times have you done stuff like this? It's one of those things where it's like that's practically you doing, doing. To some people, sit there and say stupid, dangerous things. So she didn't lay into her. Um, like typically that she would, because she's been there, she's done that. So she can't even sit there and say, "You shouldn't have done this, you shouldn't have done that," yada yada yada. She didn't really go hard on her. Just knew that, you know. So she decides to call up Brick, and Brick just happens to be in town, so she goes to go and see Brick. Meanwhile, Dex is just, he's having a fever, he's burning up. He starts saying some stuff about calling her a Valkyrie, and, she's smiling and everything. And I'm just like, Cam, you poor bastard. Oh my goodness, Cam. I feel sorry for you, bro. Feel sorry for you. Because, listen, at this point, it's on a countdown. Okay? I thought they were going to kiss today. Now, when Cam finds out, he's not going to be happy. He's going to be pissed off, and Josh is going to sit there and say some stuff like, "I didn't know," and yada, yada, yada. And people are going to sit there and say it's fine because of her age, and we should just sit there and say, I don't know, we should give her a pass because of her age. And, all that good stuff that some people seem to do. Like with Trina, you know. Like with Trina, I'm pretty sure I might have been talking smack about Trina during my live stream, and somebody was like, "Well, she's 19 years old." I'm like, "Listen, bro, just because you want to sit there and give her a pass, that's cool with you. I'm not doing that." um, but yeah, no, that time is coming. Okay, it's a countdown. The inner, the relationship of Joss and Cam are going to be coming to an end soon. Okay, it's happening. It's a wrap. Let's put it that way. Now Brick is in town. He comes to meet Sonny. He sees Nina. They chop it up for a little bit. They're about to tell this hilarious story about something that happened in Houston. Hopefully we'll get to that story one day. But between Nina running back and forth, handling work, Sonny and Brick are talking shop. They talk about Dex for a little bit. And Sonny's talking about giving him a promotion because he's been taking it like a champ. Okay, he's been handling stuff well, and he talked about how he got an email from Dex and he's in the win, and he's lying down low. But at some point, Brick does get the call from Carly. He heads out, and Nina. When I start laughing the minute I say a character's name, that just says how I feel about them already. And Nina's sitting there running her mouth, talking to Sonny about, "Oh, I had an encounter with Willow and Michael, and it wasn't pleasant." She starts running her mouth, and she tries to play the victim and talking about, well, Willow wished me dead and was just so awful. I mean, I tried to be nice to her, and of course she got to play the victim, and now it's big back Michael and Willow, and I'm like, all right, bro, you going on with your little delusional ass. You keep just. Of course, it's not done yet because Nina's an idiot. Okay, you would think that you would learn. You would think that you would learn your lesson and stay in your goddamn lane. Oh no, not Nina. No, 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 no. Granted, here's the thing. She's at work or whatever, walking around, and she sees Carly goes into Brick's room, and she's all like, "Oh, I wonder what's going on there. None of your goddamn business. Don't you have a hotel to run? Why don't you go and do that? Why don't you focus on your job that you was saying that you're still learning?" Okay? Learn about the job, not about what Carly Smith is doing with her time. Oh, I'm pretty sure that you won't be happy about that. Okay, you may not be happy about that. Well, how is that in your damn business, boo? Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I think that should be the message of the month. It's know and stay in your lane. We got that going on. You got Jeff looking for Liz. Comes across Fenn, and Fenn confronts Jeff about his affair with his wife from like 20, 30 something years ago. And they get into it, and of course, Jeff was like, "Whoa, Rico, who?" It was like, "Bro, how many chicks did you bang before?" I don't even want to know. But he's meant to talk about, oh well, she was lonely, and you were stationed somewhere else, or something like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, bro. Listen, we all get how affairs work. Okay, we get it. And of course, at this point, Fenn decides to punch him in the face. I'm like, that's like a coward. I mean, you want to sit there and hit this man over the fact that he knocked boots with your ex late wife like 300 something years ago? Really? And then say later on, he's like, well, it's not even about Reiko anymore. Like, it's not about Reiko. What was that about then? This is after this idiot decided to call HR and tell on himself. Really? This what we're doing now? We're just we're just voluntarily telling on ourselves? Like that's what we're doing now? Okay. GH, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Start talking about Les and what Jeff and her mom did, and just questioning about, like, yo, listen, that okay, I get it. That's the first of all, y'all are terrible parents for what y'all did to Liz. Now y'all been gone for X amount of years. I get that happened, but why'd y'all stay away for so long? Why? And that's a really good question. They did bring up Hayden, but of course it was like in a fleeting moment. Like, yeah, we get that. You like to sit there and cheat on your wife. Explains Hayden and everything, but they did mention her. Now, of course, that's probably the only time we're actually going to really care about Hayden as far as the show is concerned. And, at this point, now, part of me wants them to conclude this Hayden story, if nothing else, but to just put a rest to it, you know? And as much as I do not like all these damn characters all the time, conclude a story. Okay, at this point, I don't care if they actually got um a recast. There's a lot of people that really like the temporary Nicholas. I'm not a fan, but listen, things got to get done. He's doing a good job, so I'm with it. Like, listen, let's just sit there and bring back Hayden, finish up your story, do something. It's like there's a hole in the story, and they just haven't plugged it. I mean, hell, even with Days of Our Lives, they took so long to go back into the finishing up Hope's story because it needed to make sense. And I think at this point, some people are just like, well, they'll get to it. It's like, no, I ain't getting anything. Finish it up, wrap it up. You need to do that with GH. Now, at some point, while they're sitting there going back and forth with Fenn and Jeff, Liz comes in. Esme sitting there plotting the whole time, talking about her dad, talking about, how she's going to get out of there, was upset with Liz because Liz didn't help her. Then she's like, you know what, listen, I need leverage. And she's like, you know what, I'm going to sit there and use the baby. So you see in the previews that she's talking about how she's in pain and this, that, and the third. So, on a side note, I wonder what's going on with the actor that's playing Nicholas. I know what's going on with that. But, yeah, unfortunately, the rest of the episode, this is where we get to a point of it being like, it's like, don't get me wrong, the stuff that I talked about before was like really interesting, And don't get me wrong, if you like the rest of the stuff with like Michael and Willow, that's fine. All they really do is sit there and talk about getting a donor, um, starting up a pledge drive, and finding any relatives that Willow may have. While Drew is sitting there talking to Leo, and Leo is kind of upset. Well, he thinks that Drew and Michael were upset with them because they've been fighting with his father for a hot minute. So Leo comes in there with Michael, and Drew's like, yeah, we got to find a way to sit there and deal with Ned because now, Leo is sensing the tension that we got going on. We got to deal with this ASAP. Um, Now they don't let in Drew. They don't let Drew in on the whole, leukemia thing. But they do talk about how they're trying to look for her parents. And of course, Drew is like, thinking about the whole Carly conversation. But Carly did tell Drew that Nina isn't a match. Nina isn't her birth mother. So he really doesn't say anything. He seemed like he's kind of guilty, but not super guilty. I'm confused though at this point because if Drew now I'm starting to think about this, and this is where my facts is getting a little mixed up. If Drew is feeling guilty, is he feeling guilty because he knows that um Harmony wasn't her biological mother? Like does Willow know that she is not? Her bio mom isn't Harmony or not? It's been so long that it's like there are certain facts that I do get kind of lost in the shuffle, and I got to sit there and try to look it up. But if anybody knows about that, please let me know in the comment section. Um. Oh, and Leo also finds Dexter's phone. Sonny's sitting there, I guess, messaging him. So, just double check, make sure I get everything. That's about it. Yeah, I think I pretty much kind of covered everything, or at least the most pertinent information. So this episode is so. I wouldn't sit there and say like you can. I wouldn't sit there and say it's skippable. Like I said, here's the thing with these episodes lately, except for Fridays. Fridays was like totally forgettable, but for the most part, these episodes have been mixed. So there's been some good stuff with some stuff that just seemed like it was like not really like I didn't really care for it, personally, in my opinion. But I would say, you could probably enjoy this episode. You can enjoy parts of this episode. Let me correct myself. You can enjoy parts of this episode. But with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank you for watching. Be safe, and I will see you in the next video.